When I was around 8, my sister and I would make videos of my baby brother in the walker, like, watch, we're gonna make him disappear. And then we'd wheel him out and then we'd turn the camera back on, he's gone. We were like doing our own TikTok videos basically when I was 8.
All right, let's get going. Today, welcome everyone to Brands on Brands on Brands. I'm excited to bring to you our guest today, Molly Mahoney. First off, Molly, thanks so much for being here today.
Yes, I cannot wait to dive into this with you today.
And one of the things that you specialize in is creating like authentic Facebook video content and a lot of live video as well. In the social media marketing community, speakers, authors are like my favorite people out there because you've figured out how to teach other people the things that you're good at. How are you using video these days? Like, how are you using it in your business?
There's two main ways that we use video. One is for lead generation, so to make new connections, to bring in new people to our community. And then the other is in delivering our coaching and our programs. For us, we mainly use live video for both of those. So we're using live video once a week on our business page. We connect that with a messenger bot so that we drive traffic into our Facebook group. And then we do a monthly masterclass or webinar where we teach a bunch and we offer people the chance to join us inside our Camera Confidence program. What I love the most about it is that you show up once a week, you have this conversation with actual human beings, whether they're watching live or in the replay, and that one video can turn into 15 different types of content. And that's all content that can lead people to learning more about you, to purchasing from you. It's pretty dang awesome.
I'd love to go a step into this because a lot of people will say, just create more content, like use the thing you've created and do more of it. But people don't always list out, okay, what they're creating and then how they got there, like how do they put those steps? So I'd like to start with like the what. So you create a video and then, I mean, maybe it's a laundry list, but give me like some good examples of like the things that you're turning that into.
Every time what we're doing is instantly we're turning it into a blog post and show notes. We do a speedy recap at the end of every video. And that speedy recap is me literally going through the bullet points from that video without mentioning the comments, without, asking questions. That speedy recap is taken down. We have a member of our team who chops it off and adds a little bumper to it so that it can, and masters the sound, which I'm grateful to have our team member who does that. But there are also tools that you can use, like a tool called Repurpose, so repurpose.io. where you can do it really easily straight within Repurpose. And we chop that speedy recap off, which then goes on YouTube. It's set to go on LinkedIn. We can create IGTV videos out of it. And then two other things that we're doing is we're making like quote cards. We then have a card or an infographic that's created that we can use as an Instagram post per se. What's really cool is once I have these Instagram posts go out, so these graphic cards, which actually were created based on the video that I did, I actually go straight to my Instagram. I take a screenshot of one of those cards. I crop it so it's just that image. Then I use it with the green screen feature on TikTok. So I go to TikTok and I make a video based on the card, which is made based on the video that I had already done on my business page. So I'm like fully recycling it. Then I can share that on TikTok and I can share it on Instagram stories. And then on Instagram stories, I can link it to the IGTV video, which then also links back to the video that I did on my Facebook page.
We don't all naturally understand like where and how to be fun and bring that side of other sides of our personality into the business. And that seems like a forum or a format, the TikTok channel, that's an easier place to do that. But I think it's when you haven't seen other people do it that are like you. So I imagine a lot of people are like, oh, I'm a creator also. Like, what do I do? Yeah. But I'm creating serious like marketing content or whatever it is. Like, well, how do I position myself? So I love hearing examples.
I seriously struggled with it. Even as someone who is like a musical theater performer, who is whatever, I felt like there was so much pressure. First of all, there was so much pressure to be funny. First few videos I did there, they were like so dumb. And when you go back and look at it, I really feel like finally a couple of weeks ago, I took my own advice and just did the things that like made me happy. And if they work, they work. If not, at least I'm creating content that I can use in my Instagram stories where, It's more, for me, I'm more using TikTok as a way to deliver value, find the people that I know are really my ideal clients, but also have fun with the way that I can create the video using the tool so that I can use it other places. What I do is I pull up like the blog post, for example, if there's 5 bullet points, I'll do a video that's like 5 ways to da 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 da. And then I just read my own blog post. Like I read the bullet points from my blog post and I'm like, tip 1, da 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 da. Tip 2, blah, 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 blah. Really silly thing that I made up that I like love. And I recorded another one of them today. I take the image and I make it really small on TikTok. I had a card that we had made that said, I had a DNA test and it proved that I'm 100% shimmer and shine. But I made the image really small on TikTok. And so you couldn't really see what it said. And then it's with the green screen sticker is the filter that you use on TikTok. So then I came in and I said, really serious, like I had a DNA test done and I have to tell you what the results were. But I go, and then I stop the video and then I make the thing get bigger, right? And then I blow again and I make it get bigger until eventually it takes over the whole screen. And then I was like, I'm 100% shimmer and shine, right? It's so dumb. And then I moved it away and I said, if you're 100% shimmer and shine too, follow, for more tips or whatever. So it's like having fun with the way you repurpose your content too.
On every channel, I think there's a period of time where you have to find your voice for that channel. You know who you are, but how you express yourself in these different formats, whether it's the same or different.
But the other thing that happens is people see that and they're like, well, you've been a musical theater performer since you were a kid. This is just, obviously this video thing works for you. But I want to highlight that for some people, my energy is not their taste and they're not going to be able to hear the marketing strategies that I'm sharing because they just don't jive with it. And they may jive better with you as a listener, whatever it is that makes you, you, that's what we want to see on the camera. And it's interesting to me that with TikTok, I found myself coming into that same issue where I was trying to be somebody else instead of just, taking my own advice and really figuring out who you are as a person and just elevating that a little bit.
I'd like to hear a little bit more about, you mentioned some people that are helping you on your team, but what is it's step 1, step 2 for a lot of people? Because for me, I'm like, okay, am I hiring a copywriter? Because the first thing I need to do is get transcripts and blogs and quotables. Yeah. Or am I working with graphic design people, or is it or am I just using tools? I know there's a lot of routes, but I'd love to hear maybe your take on what's been good for you.
Yeah.
And maybe what you're telling other people to do.
So I've been doing live videos once a week consistently since 2016. So there's definitely been a process that we've, taken to get here. With that in mind, I did not hire an actual official transcriber until about a month ago. But what we were doing in that regard beforehand was just having only the speedy recap transcribed. So the first thing you want to do, I would say for anybody, as you're looking to build this out and maybe you're not ready to bring on a whole team, purchase repurpose.io. I am so grateful that I was able, that I've had that tool because it automatically downloads every single video I do. So at one point, Facebook was being glitchy and my video disappeared. I had it saved on Repurpose. And then with Repurpose, it's crazy because you can go in and you can create videos for all different platforms. So it allows you to create square videos, taller videos. You can add the little bar on the bottom that's like the progress bar, which is so cool. You can customize the color of the progress bar. You can automatically add captions to the bottom of the video, all with that one tool. I do use B.Live, which is the tool that I use to go live because I can instantly add graphics and videos and make things look a little more professional. The other tool that I would look into getting if you have a WordPress website, we use another tool created by Hanny, who created Repurpose, and it's called, I always mix it up, I think it's Simple Social Press. It automatically takes your video from Facebook. As soon as you go live, it turns it into a blog post automatically, and the video is embedded into your blog post, which is cool, but what's even cooler is the comments from your video are automatically comments on your blog post.
Now they've created, 10 pieces of content, 20 pieces of content, figuring out where to put them in the week, in the day, in the month. How do you go about that?
Yeah. And so we are careful not to have the same, the speedy recap for the video like if I have the speedy recap video of it, I'm going to wait maybe even a couple months before I actually publish that on YouTube so that it feels fresh. Because if everything was the same on all platforms at the same time, nobody has a reason to follow you in different places. We have this whole queue of speedy recap videos that we're ready to put out consistently on YouTube. The real goal is going to be that the description from the video is going to be the description on the YouTube stuff. It's also going to be the email that we send to drive traffic to YouTube. This will be content that comes out way after we've done it on Facebook Live. So it's like fresh content. So let's say on Friday, Wednesdays I do my live video. Let's say on Fridays, I'm sending out a speedy recap from a past video, but it's coming out as if it's fresh content. The same thing on our IGTV stuff. We basically just took all these snippets and we scheduled a bunch of snippets out for months that come out once a week. So we're releasing these other pieces on different channels once a week. The show notes, our goal is to have them out by the Monday after the show so that then we can say, hey, the show notes from last week's show are available.
When I was talking to Evan Carmichael, who's got an amazing YouTube channel, his little note was like, he's like, I have a themed day for throwback content. And so like once a month, it's Tony Robbins Day. Like every month, once a month, it's Tony Robbins Day. And I post a clip from our awesome interview that's, whatever it was, and drive people to that video. And then next month I do it again, that same day, the 6th of the month, whatever it was. But with I have 3 different clips. I just rotate them. And every 6th of the month, it's one of those 3.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like that you're doing to help you?
I love that. So we actually have the tool, which is called Smarter Q. Do you know Smarter Q? Okay, and here's what I love about Smarter Q is that you can set themes. So the way that we teach this in our GLAM program, GLAM is Go Live and Monetize. In our GLAM program, we have this document that's called the Content to Clients document. And it's like, it's these 7 action steps that they take once they join the program. And one of these action steps is the content plan. Now, I find that a lot of people will say, like, his sounds really awesome, but a lot of people will say like, oh, it's Throwback Thursday and it's Freedom Friday and it's Tip Tuesday and it's Work It Wednesday. And those are very generic themes, right? That people just use to like keep interaction going in their Facebook group, but people end up tuning out because it doesn't actually mean anything. So we have a whole system where we help you to identify your tree of beliefs.
Oh, tell me more.
Okay, the tree of beliefs is, in order for someone to say yes to your product or your program or your service or whatever it is that they're buying from you, they have to believe a certain set of things in order to say yes. So I need to make sure that in my content, I'm somehow like speaking to the power of community. I love the book Persuasion. Do you know that book?
I do.
I love it. So the whole point is that by the time you have a sales conversation or you make an offer, they already believe everything about you, about themselves, about the program or the offer, whatever it is, and about why now is the right time, because your content is constantly speaking to that. So we make sure that your categories help move that forward. So once you've done that work, then you're going to decide on every day there's going to be a different theme. Now you may announce it that this is the date, like Wednesdays are the day that we do our Facebook Lives. So, that's obviously something everyone knows is happening, but it also may be something that you just have internally as the structure for the team to know this is what's happening on this day. Okay, so now it gets really cool is that inside Smarter Q, you can identify these themes. So I have, an authority building thing. I have one that's about showing up. Like Monday morning, we do a post it's called Show Up. That's like what our internal theme is. And it's going to be a quote or a video or a post or whatever about around the belief that we have to show up in order for our businesses to grow. Then I can fill the queue on Smarter Q with all of the content that I have about showing up. As I add new content, it goes into that queue. And what happens is it is repurposed within my Facebook page. So if I have 20 things in that show up category for 20 Mondays, those posts are going to go out. On the 21st Monday, it's going to bring that other post back into the queue. So we found that we have more of a chance of going viral, more of a chance of getting more engagement and reactions and conversions when we actually repeat the content that does well. And so we just keep that flow going. You can pause it if like something happens in the world and you don't want to have things that are tone deaf
Right.
out there, right? So like we've paused ours a couple times recently, but for the most part, we never have to worry that we're going to have an empty page because we have this content in there that's consistently being repurposed.
And I think that that's a bit of a mindset shift, that even if you haven't figured out where you're going to put all of this stuff, if you start to make the plan or the infrastructure to start using the thing you create in more ways, if you start figuring out how you can do that, even if it's one step at a time, I think your effort's going to go farther, or further, whatever the right word is. Like, grammar's not my forte, obviously. But at the end of the day, like, we put so much time into creating that if we don't give ourselves the opportunity to be seen by showing it to people over and over again, I think we're missing the boat. But let's talk about you, how to find you, and where do people go to interact?
Yeah, so actually I would love to gift you more information about this Map to Millions that I mentioned. So it's how to announce your video, how to deliver content and pretend that people are there even if they aren't, with what we call a Mr. Rogers style conversation. So you're speaking to one person, and then how to repurpose it. And that this whole system allowed us to hit a reach of 1 million organically, to generate over $1 million in sales, and it's pretty dang awesome. So if you go to molly.live/Brandon, it will take you to the Map to Million starter kit. And once you go there, you can find where we are on Facebook. You can meet our messenger bot, Molly Bot. She's right there. You can say hi to her and get all kinds of goodness. So molly.live/Brandon.
But there, I think rules, tools, and pools is kind of the funny framework I've been thinking of, which is like, you have to have your steps, your rules, like your way of working, your systems. You have to have these tools that you've been mentioning the whole show that help you do things efficiently and use technology. Then you have to have pools, like pools of talent. You have to have these people that you can help find. I think you've given us lessons in all three of those. So I've really appreciated you being on today.
Yay, thank you so much. This is so fun.
And with that, everyone, thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.